The Holms make the case for Sunny yet again. Hi everyone, I'm Jacob, I'm the CowHatLibrarian, and I've got a good one tonight. The newest in the long-running Sunny series of graphic novels by the very, very talented Jennifer and Matthew Holm, Sunny Makes Her Case. I've talked about other Sunny graphic novels on this channel in the past, and this one very, very much follows the same mold that was established in Sunny Side Up, Swing It Sunny, Sunny Rolls the Dice, and so on. I'm blanking on the title of the fourth one at the moment, but I'll try to put a picture of it here. As the story starts, Sunny is still in school, and she and her friends commiserate about the fact that sports gets all the attention at her school. They get all the training, they get all the fields, they get all the medals, and if you're not good at sports, what is there to do around there? Sunny's attempt at joining the cheerleading squad doesn't turn out so well, in spite of her working on a flag routine in a previous graphic novel. Then Sunny gets an idea from her friend Aaron that they should start a debate club. Now, Sunny isn't quite sure what it is yet, but Aaron convinces her, and they find a faculty advisor after a number of attempts, telling each of the teachers, hey, you are our first pick for this. And they get started a debate club. And pretty quick, Sunny realizes that, first off, this isn't easy. It's hard having to argue a point on a particular topic and go off the top of your head with it and come up with reasons to persuade people of your way of thinking. And it gets even harder when you have to be prepared for both sides of the argument, that you can't just take the one side you like and skip preparing for the other side. You need to know this subject down cold. Well, over the course of things, she and Aaron start with whether peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are good or bad, and progress to talking about things like whether zoos should have animals or not. And Sunny runs into a really, really hard one. Should the military be allowed to draft people? And she can't think of any good reason to allow that to happen. She knows that war is horrible. She knows that people die in war, that they get injured in war. Her brother is in the Navy, currently serving in Japan, and she's worried for him. And she talks with her grandfather one night, and which is fantastic because her grandfather was one of the highlights for me in each of the previous Sunny books. And he comments, well, you know, I fought in the war, and no, it wasn't fun, but we had people we wanted to protect. And she talks to her brother and hears about how he was doing and gets the information she needs and the confidence she needs to be able to argue that particular debate topic from either side. And the story goes from there. Now, this series is pretty much my go-to for recommendations when I talk about semi-autobiographical, period-specific graphic novels. But if you're looking for read-alikes, first off, I'd suggest Mexikid by Pedro Martin. A fantastic story about a boy and his family making a trip to Mexico to pick up his grandfather and help him rebury his grandmother. It has character and style to spare. Martin is brilliant. You might also try Hoops, and I'm blanking on the author right now, but it was, again, a mostly autobiographical graphic novel about a girls' basketball team that was formed in the wake of the passage of Title IX in the United States back in the day. And it also was just fantastic. The other one I'd recommend that I read recently was Parachute Kids, about kids from Taiwan whose parents brought them over to the United States in the 1980s and had to leave them to stay and fend for themselves for a bit, while the parents went back and forth with visa issues and supported them from Taiwan. Another period-specific piece, really great family dynamic, great semi-autobiographical story with real-life details. Any of those, great read-alikes for the Sunny series. And even though this is the fifth in a series, It's still solid. I recommend it. Go borrow it. With that said, it wasn't perfect. There are spoilers ahead, because I have to talk about the deal breaker. The deal breaker is this. I'm still enjoying Sunny's escapades. I still look forward to new volumes in this series. I still want Jennifer and Matthew Holm to write more Sunny stories. The conflict has slowly ebbed out of these books, though. The first one was compelling and dramatic, and it was a mystery, and finding out why Sunny was with her grandfather and what had happened between her and her brother Dale and what led to her being there and why she was feeling that way. It was compelling, dramatic stuff. Age appropriate still, but there was conflict you could sink your teeth into. It was fascinating. It was a graphic novel I couldn't put down. The second one, where her brother's off at military school and she's still dealing with that conflict with him and not sure what she wants to do and growing up in the process, and that was still very, very good. And then the third and fourth and this one, the conflict just hasn't been there for me personally. You know, Sunny had the challenge that her school focused too much on sports. Well, she went off and started a debate team, and it went good and they won a whole bunch. She had trouble arguing the one side on the topic of war and the draft, and she talked to her grandpa and got some inspiration and got it done. In some ways, this particular one reads a little more like a modern Archie comics story, where there's plot and there are characters, but there's never really any struggle for the characters. A happens, B happens, C happens, the end. And this wasn't quite to that extent, let me be clear. It's just, it felt like there wasn't much of a challenge for Sunny to overcome this time out, and that's disappointing. She's a great, strong, fun character. And I'd like to see more of it. I'd like to see more of her overcoming obstacles. Still, go borrow it, you won't be disappointed. While I'm on the topic of libraries, if you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library, why not take just 1 minute and tell the powers that be exactly that? Tell your mayor, tell a council member, tell your MP or MLA that you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library. We're at a time where some public libraries are having trouble finding sustainable funding to continue improving the materials, programs, and services they offer. And a few good words in the right ears might make a world of difference. If by some chance you're a library staff member, don't forget, watching my videos counts as professional development time. With that, thanks for listening to me make the case for Sunny Makes Her Case. By all means, please like, please subscribe, and please check back to see what else I have to talk about from the CowHat Library. Thank you. Bye now.